You'll know because she softens, not because she told you, not because she wrote it in a message or said it in a moment of weakness, but because when she's around you, something about her changes. The tension she carries around others begins to dissolve. Her sharp edges become smooth. Her walls, those carefully constructed defenses that kept the world at arm's length, begin to crumble. Just a little. You'll notice it in how she looks at you, not with intensity but with gentleness, with curiosity, with a strange kind of peace in her eyes, like for the first time in a long time, she's not at war with herself. You see, women are often taught to be alert, to guard their hearts, to anticipate harm before love. But when she likes you, really likes you, that armor becomes too heavy to wear around you. She starts putting it down, piece by piece, without even realizing it. She laughs more freely, not because you're the funniest man on earth, but because she doesn't feel the need to filter her joy anymore. She's not worried about how she looks when she laughs, whether her voice is too loud or if her eyes crinkle in the corners. Around you, she's not performing, she's just being. And that shift, that is sacred. You'll feel it in the silence, too, in how comfortable it becomes. She doesn't rush to fill it with noise or jokes or meaningless talk. She lets the quiet stretch, because it no longer feels awkward, it feels safe, it feels like home. That's what you become to a woman who likes you. You stop being a stranger and start becoming a sanctuary. And when a woman begins to feel safe, she becomes something so much more powerful than simply interested. She becomes vulnerable. And that's not weakness, that's courage in its rawest form. Watch her body language. You won't need to decode mixed signals if you just pay attention. Her shoulders might drop around you, her arms, once crossed protectively, fall gently to her sides. She leans in when you speak, not dramatically, just enough that her body betrays her heart. A woman who likes you doesn't need to make grand gestures. Her presence is the gesture. Her comfort is the message. And there's something else. Her voice, the cadence shifts, the sharpness you may have heard when she talks to others, it smooths out, it flows differently around you, softer, slower. She's not rushing to impress or dominate the conversation. She's savoring it. And in that rhythm, she's letting you into a space she doesn't open for just anyone. Don't confuse this softness with passivity. It's not that she's weaker around you, it's that she doesn't feel the need to prove her strength. That's what you unlock in her. Not a girl pretending to be sweet, but a woman finally allowed to rest. That resting, that is the rarest gift. Women carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, expectations, rejections, past betrayals, fears. When she likes you, she lets herself exhale. Maybe not all at once, maybe not fully, but enough to let you in, enough to say, here, I trust you with this version of me. And that version is everything. It's the version that cries at movies, that dances when no one is watching, that hums when cooking dinner. It's the version that doesn't apologize for feeling deeply. It's the version that doesn't have to wear lipstick to feel beautiful or act tough to be respected. It's the version she guards from the world but offers to you in fragments, hoping, praying, you'll know how to hold her gently. This is why you don't chase the loudest gestures. You don't need the dramatic declarations. You look for the shift. You feel the warmth. You notice how the room changes when she's with you. Because when a woman likes you, her soul starts to bloom in your presence. And even if she doesn't know what to say about it yet, her energy has already confessed everything. She softens, not because she's weak, but because you make her feel strong enough to finally put her armor down. When a woman likes you, she'll find ways to be close to you, even when she has no reason to be. It won't always be obvious, it won't always make sense, but it'll be there, quietly, persistently, unmistakably. Proximity becomes her language, and closeness, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, becomes her pursuit. She may not say, I want to be near you, but she'll text you about something trivial just to keep the conversation going. She'll share a song, send a meme, ask you for advice she probably didn't need. She's not trying to be clever. She just doesn't want the connection to go silent. Because when a woman likes you, the space between messages feels like distance between hearts, and she'll do what she can to bridge it, even if it's subtle. She remembers things you mention offhand. That movie you said you liked, the snack you're obsessed with, that one place you said you always wanted to visit, and then suddenly she's bringing it up, not to impress you, but to create a shared thread, something you both hold. Because shared space is not always physical. Sometimes it's built from memories, from attention, from care. Watch how she behaves when you're in a group. If you're talking to someone else, she'll still find ways to orbit you, maybe standing closer than necessary, laughing a bit louder when you're around, or just being where you are. Not to steal the spotlight, but to remain in your gravity. It's not about control, it's about comfort. Because for her, you start to feel like the safest place in the room. She'll offer help you didn't ask for, she'll make sure you got home safe, she'll check in after a long day or before a big one. It's not grand or dramatic, it's thoughtful, quiet, consistent. A woman who likes you doesn't need to announce it, she just makes herself available in the ways that matter. Her effort is steady, her presence is intentional, and that's what you'll feel. Even in moments of distance, her energy stays near. Maybe she's busy, maybe she's overwhelmed, but she finds a way to let you know, I'm thinking of you. That could be a quick voice note in the middle of chaos or just reacting to something you posted. Anything to keep the thread alive. It's not about control or desperation. It's about connection. Because when a woman feels something for you, she'll want to keep that connection breathing. Physical closeness matters too, but not always in the way people expect. She might brush past you a little more often, sit near you even when there's space elsewhere, or lean in when you speak, just slightly closer than needed. It's unconscious. It's not performative. It's instinctive. Her body gravitates toward what her heart is starting to crave. And even if she doesn't fully understand it yet, her movements tell the truth. Her lips might be too shy to speak. But let me be clear, this isn't always about romance in the traditional sense. Sometimes it's about emotional proximity. She'll open up slowly. She'll tell you things she doesn't say to others. Maybe about her past, her fears, her dreams. She's not unloading. She's offering pieces of herself that she doesn't give away easily. And if you listen closely, you'll realize that her vulnerability is not weakness. It's trust wearing no makeup. She doesn't always need to be with you physically to feel close. Her presence lingers in the little things, like the way she starts using your favorite phrases or how she begins to see life through your lens. That's how you know she's emotionally syncing with you. She starts including you in the internal dialogue she has with herself. He would love this. I wonder what he'd think about this. You begin to live rent-free in the corners of her mind she usually guards so fiercely. And that's powerful, because when a woman begins to wrap you into her world like that, it's not by accident. It's because her heart is rehearsing a life where you matter. Her gestures may seem small, her words may be casual, but they're all part of a quiet choreography designed to keep you close without making it obvious. Because she doesn't want to scare you away. She just wants you to notice. She'll find excuses to be near, reasons to reach out, moments to linger, because closeness to her is the beginning of love. When a woman likes you, she doesn't always tell you with her words, but her mind, her heart, and even her body begin to echo yours in ways that are subtle, almost invisible, unless you're paying close attention. She starts to mirror you without even realizing she's doing it. It's not something she's planning. It's something that just happens when connection begins to take root in her. Her tone shifts. Her language starts to resemble yours. Maybe she starts using your favorite phrases, picking up on your humor, or even mimicking the rhythm of how you speak. It's not imitation. It's intimacy. It's a subconscious alignment. Her energy is synchronizing with yours because you've begun to matter to her. You've started to live inside her emotional frequency, and now her communication starts to reflect that. If you notice her leaning into your interests, that's not random. She's trying to understand your world, not to impress you, but to be a part of it. If you're passionate about music, she'll ask about your favorite artists. If you're into sports, suddenly she's curious about the teams you follow. If you're passionate about a cause or a dream, she's asking questions, not because she's trying to flatter you, but because she wants to understand what moves you. That desire to understand, that's affection at work. And it goes deeper. You might find her mirroring your emotional responses. If you're excited, she lights up with you. If you're serious, she adjusts. If you're quiet, she doesn't push you. She sits with you in the silence. Not because she's trying to manipulate you or shapeshift to be what you want, but because your emotional landscape is starting to influence hers. It's like she's tuning into your frequency and learning how to walk beside you in your rhythm. Sometimes it's physical mirroring too. When you lean in, she leans in. When you gesture, she mirrors your movement. When you cross your legs or tilt your head, a few moments later, she does the same. You'd think it's coincidence, but it's not. It's biology meeting emotion. It's her subconscious saying, I feel connected to you. This mirroring, it's not a game, it's not manipulation, it's vulnerability in motion. It's her allowing you to influence her in small, tender ways. It's trust. And trust, for a woman who's been through things, is not something she gives away lightly. So when she begins to shift, when you start to notice traces of yourself in her tone, her timing, her interests, that's not just chemistry, that's care revealing itself. There's this beautiful moment that happens when a woman starts to see you not as someone she's attracted to, but someone she aligns with. She begins to adopt your pace, she starts to consider your view, she remembers what matters to you, not because she's trying to win you, but because she's starting to love you in the language she knows best: empathy. And empathy is a quiet storm. It reshapes everything. Pay attention to how her worldview changes. Maybe she starts dreaming a little bigger because you believe in ambition. Maybe she starts speaking softer because your calmness influences her. Or maybe she becomes more expressive because your vulnerability gave her permission to be brave. These aren't small things. They're the ripple effects of presence. When a woman likes you, your existence leaves fingerprints on her behavior. You may not say it out loud, but her evolution speaks. She doesn't stop being who she is, but she lets your presence touch who she's becoming. That's rare. That's intimate. That's what most people overlook. What's even more powerful is that she doesn't always notice it herself. She might not be aware that she's changed her texting rhythm to match yours, or that she's begun saying things you say. It just happens, because hearts that feel safe with each other begin to echo. And echoes aren't accidents. They're signs of deep emotional resonance. So don't just listen to what she says. Watch how she changes. Not drastically, not dramatically, but gently, slowly, honestly. That's how love sneaks in. Not with explosions, but with small shifts that only the patient can see. She doesn't just mirror what you do, she mirrors who you are. When a woman likes you, really likes you, she remembers things you don't even realize you're sharing. The little things, the in-between things, not just the milestones you announce, but the quiet details you casually mention in passing, the kind of details most people forget as soon as the conversation ends. But she doesn't, because when her heart is paying attention, her memory becomes a vault, one that stores pieces of you like they're precious, sacred even. She remembers how you take your coffee, not because you told her twice, but because you mentioned it once, barely. She remembers that song you said reminds you of home, or the way you said your voice gets raspy when you're tired. She stores that, tucks it away, not for leverage, not for validation, but because your life is beginning to live in her mind, not just your big dreams and bold statements, but your pauses, your preferences, your patterns. And it's not just facts, it's feelings. She remembers how your voice changed when you talked about your father, or the hesitation in your tone when you mentioned your last heartbreak. She catches the weight behind your smile when you said, I'm okay. Most won't notice that kind of shift, but she will, because when a woman starts to care, she tunes in deeply. She begins to read between the words, and she holds on to the things you didn't even realize you revealed. You see, we often think of love as being loud, grand gestures, sweeping statements, but often love whispers. And in a woman who likes you, that whisper shows up in how well she knows you, how she listens, not just to respond, but to understand, and how, when the moment comes, she uses that understanding to love you better. She won't remind you that she remembers. She won't keep score. She doesn't need to. Her memory isn't about control. It's about connection. It's her way of saying, you matter enough for me to keep track. Because in a world that forgets people quickly, remembering someone quietly is the most tender form of affection. She'll notice when your mood is just a little off, even when you're pretending it's not. She'll ask about something you mentioned weeks ago, and you'll be surprised she even remembered. Maybe it's the story about your childhood dog, maybe it's your favorite scent, or the way you said silence can be more comforting than words. It's those small threads she weaves into her understanding of you, slowly building a version of you that's both accurate and deeply personal. And might show up in unexpected ways, like she brings you a snack you didn't even realize you mentioned liking, or she sends a message right before a meeting you were nervous about, remembering the exact day and time you told her, even if it was just once. That's how she loves you, through awareness, through presence, through attention. Most people listen to respond, but when a woman likes you, she listens to remember. She listens because she wants to see you, not just hear you. And she doesn't need a calendar reminder or a to-do list to make it happen. Her heart just keeps track, and that kind of memory isn't trained, it's felt. Sometimes she'll even remember things you've forgotten about yourself. Your strengths when you're doubting them, your softness when you're trying to be hard. She'll gently remind you of who you are in moments you need it the most, and she'll do it in a way that feels like coming home to yourself. That's how you'll know, not by how loudly she speaks, but by how deeply she sees. A woman who truly likes you doesn't just pay attention to the version you show the world. She notices the hidden parts, the things you only reveal when you're tired or hurt or unguarded. And when she holds those parts with grace instead of judgment, when she remembers your emotional truths along with your facts, that's when her care becomes undeniable. She doesn't need to ask for a place in your life. She's already creating one by the way she remembers you. When a woman likes you, she won't always just flatter you or make things easy. In fact, sometimes the clearest sign that she cares is that she challenges you. Not in a combative or harsh way, but in a way that gently pushes you to rise, to become more, to be honest with yourself, to stop hiding behind comfort. Because real interest, real affection doesn't just want you, it wants the best in you to come forward. It's easy to mistake this for criticism, especially if you're used to people who only show love when they agree with you. But she's different. She's not challenging you to win a debate. She's challenging you because she believes you're capable of more than what you're settling for. She sees your potential even in your silence. And that belief, that's not something she throws around loosely. She'll ask you questions that make you pause, not to poke holes in your dreams, but to understand how deeply you've thought about them. She'll push you when you start making excuses, not because she's unsympathetic, but because she knows the strength you forget you have. A woman who truly likes you isn't afraid to disagree with you. She'll hold you accountable to your own values, especially when you're tempted to compromise them. And if you're really paying attention, you'll see that this isn't about power or pride. It's about partnership. She's not trying to dominate you. She's trying to walk beside someone who's not afraid to grow. Because deep down, she doesn't just want to admire you. She wants to build something with you, something real, something worthy of both your names. She'll point things out gently, the way you shrink when you should speak up, the way you deflect compliments because you still don't believe you deserve them, the way you sabotage things when they start feeling too good. She sees it, and if she likes you, she won't stay silent. She'll say, "You're better than that." Not to shame you, but to remind you. You'll know she's the real thing when she's not intimidated by your ambition, but she's also not impressed by your potential alone. She wants to see effort, integrity, follow through, not because she's demanding, but because her feelings are serious. She's not just interested in the version of you that shows up on your best days. She wants to love you at your rawest and help you become your most grounded self. And here's where it gets deeper. A woman who likes you will also let you challenge her. She won't shut down when you hold up a mirror. She won't run when you call her out gently on something she's avoiding. She may resist at first because growth is uncomfortable for everyone, but if she's truly into you, she'll listen. She'll reflect. She'll evolve. Because at the core of it all, what you have isn't just attraction, it's mutual sharpening. You're not afraid to grow near each other. You're not afraid to be wrong in front of each other. You're not afraid to say, I love you, but I also expect more from you. That level of respect, that depth of care, it's rare and it's beautiful. She'll support you, yes. She'll encourage you, uplift you, and stand beside you, but she will never enable your stagnation. She'll never lie to protect your ego. She'll never let you shrink to make her feel taller. When she likes you, she'll make you feel seen, but more importantly, she'll make you feel stretched. Because love that doesn't challenge you to grow isn't love. It's comfort dressed up as connection. So if she questions you, if she doesn't always agree, if she asks you to slow down or speak up or think deeper, don't pull away. Lean in. Because that's not her trying to control you. That's her saying, I care too much to let you remain small. And that kind of care, that's the rarest kind of love you'll ever know. When a woman likes you, truly likes you, she shows up. Not just when it's easy, not just when everything is light and laughter. She shows up when it's inconvenient, when it's quiet, when it's messy. She shows up in ways that may not be loud or dramatic, but they are steady. And in a world full of unpredictability and emotional noise, that kind of consistency speaks volumes. It's easy to be present when everything is going well, when the sun is shining, when the conversations flow, when your energy is high and your mood is magnetic. But that's not the real test of connection. The real test is in how someone shows up when there's nothing to gain in the moment, when you're distant, when you're overwhelmed, when you're not your most charming self. That's when her feelings speak loudest, not through words but through action. You'll notice that even when she has a full plate, she still carves out space for you. It doesn't always have to be hours of her time. It might be a few thoughtful minutes, a check-in, a message, a small gesture. It's not about quantity. It's about the fact that you matter enough to be prioritized. Because when a woman likes you, you stop being just someone she talks to. You become someone she makes time for. And not just time, but presence. There's a difference between being around and truly being there. A woman who's into you doesn't just show up physically. She's emotionally tuned in. She notices when your energy shifts. She catches the small sigh in your voice when you say, I'm fine, and instead of accepting the mask, she leans in. She makes it clear that she's not going anywhere. Not just in the easy moments, but especially in the ones you don't have the words for. Even when she's going through her own storms, she doesn't vanish. She may not be as vibrant or available as usual, but she'll let you know, I'm still here. That reassurance, especially when she has every excuse to disappear, is not something to take lightly. That's not casual energy. That's someone who's not here to play games. Someone who values connection enough to protect it. You'll notice that when life gets heavy, when work is overwhelming, when you're not feeling yourself, when doubt creeps in, she doesn't retreat. She doesn't say, let me know when you're better. No, she stays close, quiet maybe, but present, attentive, still checking in, still showing love, even in the smallest ways. Because for her, liking you isn't a temporary spark. It's something she honors, even when the fire dims for a while. You won't need to question her intentions because her consistency answers for her. A woman who likes you doesn't just say she cares, she proves it. Over time, through her patterns, through the way she remembers to reach out, through the way she supports your highs and doesn't abandon you in your lows. It's not a performance, it's who she is with you, because you matter. She won't always get it perfectly. She's human. She'll get tired too. She'll have off days. But even in her imperfect moments, she doesn't disappear. She lets you in. She shares her silence. She trusts you with her off days, just like she trusts herself to walk beside you through yours. That's what emotional closeness looks like. Not perfection, but presence. Even in conflict, she doesn't just vanish. She doesn't ghost, doesn't punish you with absence. She stays in the conversation. Maybe she needs space, but she communicates it because she understands that when she likes you, her presence isn't just a comfort, it's a commitment. And while she may not label everything right away, she lives the connection in the way she shows up again and again. It's not about constant attention. It's about reliable attention. That soft, steady kind of love that doesn't need a spotlight to feel real. When a woman likes you, she won't always come with fireworks. Sometimes she comes with consistency, with warmth, with loyalty, with effort. And if you're wise, you'll see that showing up isn't something she has to do, it's something she chooses over and over again. Because to her, being close to you isn't just about pleasure, it's about meaning. So when you find a woman like that, someone who shows up not only when it's fun, but when it's hard, don't overlook it. Because presence, in its quietest form, is often the loudest way a heart says, I'm here and I care.